Alrighty, guys. Good afternoon. Is 2:01 p.m. It's the 30th. One more day, guys, and this month is over with. I want to thank everybody for showing support and liking my stream and following me and everything. I mean, we're already at 123 followers, very close from hitting 150 already. um Tomorrow we're gonna do like a thank you prelude or something, like a really short it's like the beginning of the intro. I'll probably name everybody that follow me, and we're gonna do like a little roulette of names and everything, and whoever wins, I'm gonna go ahead and do like a donation to their channel. Or I mean, whoever, I mean, if they don't have content, it's okay. Uh I'll donate to one of you guys. So just as a token of a thanks, and everything, for showing support and everything. So for anybody that's new, hopefully the audio works and everything. Let me see if everything is working before I start. Okay, everything is working properly. Okay, let's turn this thing off. Okay, and let's go ahead and start, guys. So here in this on this stream, we talk about stocks from Monday to Friday, guys. This is what we do. We've been doing already 36 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. Before I start, let me go ahead and set up. I forgot to set up the kick title.
What up, Tyler?
Hold on a second, guys. If you hear something on the background, I apologize. Let me go ahead and fix this really quick before I start. I know a little bit of technical difficulties, but we'll start off really fast. 129. Okay. And so today we on episode 37. Let me turn that off. Okay. 37. There's a lot that I have to fix after the stream, but we'll get it there. We'll get there. Let me change the Twitch. I think the title, I also have to change it.
Official suit. Is your tie?
Yeah.
Hold on a second, guys. Bear with me, I'm almost done. Episode 37 already. All right. Okay, guys. So tomorrow, let me go ahead and turn off a little bit, or I'll just leave the music like that. If you guys hear a little bit more music than the voice, don't forget to hit the chat. Let me know on the chat or the comments or anything like that, and I'll do my best to fix that. Okay. So like I said today, I mean, this is what we do. We do stocks. We do low price stocks, guys. We focus on the stocks that is cheap. Now, the only downside is that it's risky. If you don't know what you're doing and you're putting your hard-earned money into it, then there's a big possibility of losing your money. 90 plus percent of people lose their money in the stock market. That's a big percentage, and mostly it's because of bad management on their money, especially on these type of stocks. These stocks that I'm gonna talk about today, they're very risky. They have really bad earnings and bad fundamentals on their money is not doing good. Company is not doing great. However, the charts at a shorter term, whenever they put out some news or something like that, I try to capitalize on the technical side. And so that's where we're gonna go ahead and start. Let me go ahead and change the screen. Hopefully you guys can see the the stocks chart. Well, not the chart, the main web that I have here on the screen. Okay, so as you can see on the left side, guys, we have the Finviz screen. Just like I said on all my streams, I run through everything almost the same so that you guys could remember. The only thing that changes is the stocks that we analyze every day. And so, but the rest is the same criteria, the same platforms that we use, the same thing that I use, like the sorting, the filtering to find the stocks. And so that's kind of what we're gonna do. But first, we're gonna go ahead and analyze anything that we mentioned yesterday for today. And so today is Friday, guys. So remember, stocks don't trade, don't are not active on the weekend, guys. Only crypto. Okay. Right now, we don't have any holidays close. Only I think mid-February or something like that. We'll do another checkup next week. But let's go ahead and hop into it. So as you can see on the left side, guys, you have the web here that is Finviz. It's called Finviz, right? And so Finviz is going to be used for scanning the stocks and analyzing any type of news that we cannot see on the other trading platform, which is this one right here, Trading View, right? This one right here is to see the charts, see how they work on the technical side, and that's gonna get you on the track to understanding a little bit more about the price action. Okay. This right here is Coin Market Cap. This is another platform to filter out your crypto, and get to find the really cheap cryptos that they have good runs as well, just like the stocks. Now there's a little bit more steps that you have to do with the crypto, and so along the way you're gonna as you do your research, you're gonna understand how to deal with that. So thank anybody who's coming around, any new person. Don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. Feel free to chat, ask questions, anything like that. Remember, on my description, guys, I have a lot of platforms that I use. The only one that is inactive is the TikTok and the Patreon. Okay, and sometime this coming month, I'm gonna deal with that. I'm gonna concentrate. I'll probably take a couple days off just to deal with that, only concentrate editing, posting new content there and stuff like that, so I could get that running. Okay, but in the meantime, we're gonna deal with today, and let's go ahead and start off with the new stuff. So now, what you see on the right side, right, is the document. I have a document here, right? And inside this document, you have the criteria, guys. This is what I use to find the stocks that I need to find to trade for the day or for tomorrow, you know. TTV Glamour X, appreciate it for coming by and showing support. Thank you. Thank you for coming. And so let's go ahead and continue. So today is the 30th, not the 29th. So we're going to go ahead and fix that today. It's already 2:11. We started a little bit late, but it's okay. No problem with that. Um, Also, so what you see here, right, on this document, I put here as a note: focus on market cap when scanning for stocks under 300 million market value. Right? It's my personal preference, and so market cap is pretty much, in other words, is the total the company's total value, what the company's worth. Okay, and so that's plain simple. We're gonna go through that as we when we scan new stocks, and so I'm gonna talk about that later on. And so as you when you whatever you see here on this document at the bottom, you see here that I said for live trading, pre-market, and market open, right? And so what is pre-market and market open? Pre-market in the stock market, remember, we're talking about, the one that everybody looks at, which is the New York Stock Exchange, right? The New York Stock Exchange is only uses Eastern time, so that's where we got to focus on. So if you're on the West Coast, you have to wake up a little bit more earlier. Now stock market, the pre-market hour starts at 4 in the morning, guys. Very early in the morning, 4 in the morning. And the activity is not as much as the market opens, but it does open like really, pre hours, pre-market hour. Well, they call it pre-market hours, but it's like previous to the market open. And so they let you trade here and there, and some brokers allow it at that time. And so you see some good activity there. And lately you've been seeing a lot of activity since what do you call that, since COVID times. Okay, but back in the day you barely see activity pre-market. You didn't see much activity. And so but now you everything changed, so now you're gonna see some activity, not as much as the market open, but you see some type of activity. So it starts from 4 o'clock, right, all the way to 6:30, right? And 6:30, that's those hours are Western times, okay, like West Coast times. Now 9:30 is the actual Eastern time when it starts, okay. And so I don't want you guys to get confused. If you guys want to see extra, let me go ahead and do that right now, so you guys won't get confused, because I want to make it more simple for you guys. Don't want to confuse you guys with so much. Let me NASDAQ trading hours. And anybody could do this, right? You could go to Google and just put NASDAQ trading hours, and it will be the first one on the top, right? Or even Chat GPT will tell you anything like that. But this is pretty much it. The trading hours is on the Eastern time. It opens at 9:30, right, Eastern time, all the way to 4 p.m., right? Those are the hours where the market is most active. Now after 4 o'clock all the way to 8 o'clock, you have after hours. Okay. Now in some charts, let me show you really quick. Not this one. Let's put GME or something. Very simple. Just a stock. Just to show you an example of how it looks. So this is right. This blue line is kind of comparing the previous day with the current day, right? And so right here is after hours, right? And then this is the next day, right? At 4 o'clock in the morning, or 6:30 and 6 o'clock in the morning, right? In Eastern time. And it goes all the way to 9:30, right? Eastern time. And that's when the market opens. That's when everything, you see the volume in the bottom, very active. And then it goes all the way to 4 o'clock. It closes here at 4 o'clock. And then this other yellow part is the same thing as before this blue part right here, which is the after hours. Okay. And this time over here is less active as well. Okay. That's why you see the volume very low. You don't see it as much active. Okay. And so that's pretty much the trading time. And as you can see over here, right, you have the holidays, right? Right now we don't have nothing that's about to close, only on the 16th. is the next day that the market is going to be closed. So these little things is good to kind of understand, you know. But let's go ahead and continue. So this right here, right, is my criteria. This is what I use, right? If it's pre-market and market open, we want to focus on percentage change, which is on this little thing right here, or even on the chart. I'm gonna show you guys where is percentage change located, right? So right here, as you can see, you see these green percentages here. This is the percentage change. I mean, and you can see the word here, change, right? So this is the percentages of the stock since it opened all the way to the close on intraday. Okay, it will only show you the intraday, which is the market open to the market close. Okay, also on the chart, right, you're gonna see the percentages change through this information here. That's just in case if you're using the software or the website. Okay, so that's how you see the percentage change, and I will only focus on percentage change, just like I said, pre-market and market open. I kind of talk about the market cap already, and I'm going to talk a little bit more when I start scanning for new stocks. But also, I want to focus on the price, right? Price has to be from $1 to $20, right? Why $1 and $20? At the end of the day, it's my personal preference, and it's a little bit cheaper compared to stocks that trade at $100 or $1,000 per share. You know, very expensive. Those kind of stocks, if you don't have the budget, if you don't have the money, then you have to do option trading, okay? Or borrow shares from a broker. You know, if your credit it's good at the end of the day. You know, um, but you know it's very expensive out there, and so I just want to uh, bring it down to earth where you guys could grasp the stocks that I'm showing you. Like you could really, you don't have to put too much money. You just have to have a budget to like know, be okay, be safe, that you know for sure that you're not gonna miss it if you lose it. Okay, that's the mentality you gotta have. When you're trading in the market, especially at the beginning. Okay, you're not gonna go ahead and wanna bring in start trading with $10,000 or $5,000 and then expect to make millions uh, all of a sudden from one day to another. No, that's not gonna work. So you have to start from the very low amounts, and you have to work your way until you know for sure what you're doing. Okay, but I won't recommend nobody to start trading until you know exactly everything that I mentioned here, all the terms and everything. Okay, and I'm not the type of person to tell you where to buy, where to sell, how you should trade. That everything at the end of the day is your decision. You're the one that you're trading your own hard-earned money, and so you're the one that's supposed to make the decisions, not me. Now there's people out there that will tell you, oh, buy here right now, buy, or sell, or trade this stock or trade that stock. That's not me. That right there is financial advice, and on many platforms, and it's not allowed. It's illegal. Okay, so you have to be careful who you're listening to, and you have to do your due diligence to learn this. And so we're focusing on low price stocks, very volatile, very risky, and so you have to learn this. And so the next thing we want to focus on is the where the price started with the stock that you're watching. If it's a multi-day breakout, if it's a multi-week or multi-month, or even multi-year breakout. And now a breakout, there's many people that would explain it a little bit eloquently, but the simplest way that I could tell you is that it's at a higher price. Well, it could have started, or it could have went above the higher price where the resistance levels are. And so the resistance level is where there's a lot of sellers holding the pressure of the price down, and it's at a point where the buyers don't want to buy anymore. It's expensive at that certain point. and so they don't want to. It doesn't attract any buyers, and so sellers take control, you know. And so that's kind of how I could give you guys a definition of resistance. But I mean, there's plenty of people that would explain it probably way better than I do. So you have the resistance levels and you have the support levels. That's where the buyers, the sellers don't want to sell at that price because it's too low, it's too cheap. And so the buyers take control and they push the price up, and they hold that level firmly. And so you have to know these little terms. And so just right now, I was just explaining, the price when it goes above the resistance level is a breakout. And then you also have breakdowns when the price goes below the support levels. That's a breakdown. you know so those are little terms here and there. And so me, I focus on multi-day breakouts, or even to all the way to multi-year breakouts. Multi-year would be preferable. Okay. um Another thing I want to say, um stocks, if they moving very high, you see them on the chart moving, you want to know why they moving like that. And so to know exactly why it's running today or anything like that, is through the news. You have to check the news. Now the software has news. Some of the softwares have built-in news. You could check in social media, people talking about it and everything. um that's kind of your homework to check, why the stock is running. And so normally you will find some type of news. There's no stock that is running without news. There's no stock at all. you know so you have to do your due diligence to find who's talking about it. Okay. And so another thing is the flow, right? Here I say, what's the flow, right? Hopefully you guys could see the document. Okay, yeah, you guys could see the document. So the flow, right, is before you know what's the flow, the flow is the supply, right? And so to know all this, how the market works and how businesses work, you have to understand first what's supply and demand. Okay. And a lot of people that take economy, that have taken economy classes, I mean, they already know what is supply and demand. Okay, because that's kind of the first thing that they show you in class. Okay. And so supply and demand is pretty simple, very self-explanatory. The more demand and the less the supply, the price has to push up. Okay. Because there's not enough supply, and the company needs more money to reinvest into making more supply, or investing, in other companies and everything. At the end of the day, they want to get it as much money, with the less supply that they have, so that they can either, for their benefit at the end of the day. you know and so the vice versa, right? If there's more supply than the demand, then they have to make everything very cheap, make the price cheap, so that they could attract buyers to buy their supply. And so that's kind of how the deal works with the supply and demand. Okay. So float in this case is the supply, right? And volume is the demand. Okay. And so me, I'm a long bias trader. I'm day trader. And so I like to trade, buy low and sell high. That's kind of the deal here. And so I like to see float, the supply, very low. In this case, is 10 under 10 million. Okay. Also, the volume has to be over a million, which is the demand, right? And the reason why I like over a million is that all these the volume is the shares traded for a specific time, of the day. It could be the entire day, or it could be, a specific time of day. Now that's the demand, right? And so I like to see that above the supply, which is the float. Anything over 10-20 million is perfect for me. Anything over that, it's easy for me. The reason why I said 1 million is because it's easy for me to make the trade. and have no problem getting stuck in the trade. If I see that nothing is working for me and I want to get out of the trade, I could do that easily with no issues. Okay. So that's kind of why I love trading anything above 1 million, you know, and preferable anything over 20 million, you know, more than the max amount of the float. Okay. Another thing, um, you know, the rest of the criteria that I see here, I want to see the overall trend of the stock, right? The overall trend of the stock, you can only see it in the chart, right? In the charting system, right? In this case, let me show you guys an example. This is the chart, right? Trading view. Hopefully you guys can see it, right? And this is the daily right here of GME. Let me fix this really quick. There we go. That's the chart. These are the charts. And all this up and down that you see, right? The red and the green, all that is data that comes from the tape, right? And so right now, anybody new that's trying to learn stocks, I mean, this might sound gibberish to you, but you know, the more you get to learn this, you know, probably not from me completely, but you know, on your own, you know, the more you get to learn, you will understand what I'm talking about. And so this data comes from the tape directly. If it doesn't show, if the transactions don't show on the tape, it won't show on the chart. Okay, so you know, this you have to learn it independently. You know, many people have different ways to learn about learn the candles. Probably the most basic thing that I could show you, let me see if I could find a good candle to show you guys. Let me break this thing really quick. There we go. So you see this candle, this green candle at this specific time, which is this is a daily chart. This is an entire day, right? This day, right? The price opened right here for this green candle. That means the whole entire day buyers were in control, right? And red means sellers were in control for the entirety of the day, right? And so this is how you read the candles on the basic. I'm not gonna teach you too much because right now I'm kind of like putting everything on you guys. It's gonna be too much. So the basic thing about candles, this is first of all, this is Japanese candles. This is what is called Japanese candlesticks. Okay, and so this right here, right? If it's a green candle, right, the opening of this candle for it to start forming is the bottom. This is the base of everything. You know, this is the body of the candle. So it starts from the body from the bottom of the candle, which is at just to be specific, 2210, somewhere around there, 2210. Right, and it was going up, down, and it ended up when that whole entire day finish, then it closed right up here around 2421. Okay, so that was the whole entire trading day, right? And let's say you can't understand what happened here, you could zoom in. And so in order to zoom in, you have to go smaller time frames. And so this is kind of what happened in that one little trade, in that one little candle that you see there. Let me go back and point out. Where the hell I had it? I lost it. I had it somewhere and I lost. Oh, well, any of these candles make sense. So this is the 25th of November, right? 25th of November. Hopefully this is it. This is the 29th of January. 29th January. I gotta go back here to show you guys. Oh my god. Well, I can't go back. Only on Weibo. Well, let's check the first one, which is this one right here. The first one, just to make it more easier, you guys. See, more easier. This one, the first one, which is today, right? It opened at 23, and it opened at 23:25 somewhere, and it ended up on 2390 to 2388 to be specific. And so that entire day it looks like this. You see, not you don't see much information because it's a big stock, but that was the entire what you see on the candle. This is all what happened on that entire day. You see, it went up, down, up, down, up, down, and it closed right there. You know, and so that's what you see on that one little candle there that you cannot see much information. Okay, so on this red candle you see more information on the five, well, on lesser time frames. But what happened, right, is that it opened instead of opening in the bottom for the red candles, it opens on the top, right here on the top of the body, right here, and it closes right on the bottom. And so that's how the trading uh it is at the end of the day. See, if we check at the 5 minute, right, for that day, you can see here, it opened right up here around 2350 something, and it closes right down here at 2275. So, that's kind of how everything works. And so let's go ahead and continue on our criteria before we get off track again. So right here, I mean, we want to focus on the overall trend of the stock, right? And it's through the daily, right? This daily chart that you see here. And what I want to see is, does it have anything, anything interesting? Does it has any history of running? And it does have some history of running. It had a couple days here and there. It has, you can see a couple days running there. Well, not a couple days, a couple weeks for the daily. A couple weeks here and there. You can see a lot of history. And this is GME, so of course, I mean, it's a big stock, so it has $10 billion worth of company. It's worth. So it's a big company, so not too big, but it's pretty decent, for its value. And so I want to see, those are the things I want to see, and when I'm looking at the daily. And so you know um also I want to focus on the relative volume. The relative volume. Stop. I'm watching you. You're making me laugh. You funny. That's my wife making jokes on me. uh, but so let's go ahead and continue. So right here, relative volume is the difference between the current volume and the average volume, right, over a period of time, right? For Finviz, is 3 months that it's going to show. I mean, most websites out there, they use 3 months, which is 90 days. Okay, and so they take that calculation between those two, the current volume and the average, and you get the ratio. And so for me, the ratio has to be over 5. And I'm gonna update here 5 ratio on the bottom. So that's kind of that's kind of everything. Oh my god, I'm dying. Here we go. Bear with me, guys. There we go. Sorry about that. And so this is kind of what we concentrate. This is the criteria, guys. And so it's not hard to learn. It takes a little bit of time, but you guys can learn this. And so this right here is the same criteria, but for the market close. Okay, the only thing that changes is the percentage change, right? I don't have it I don't focus on it when the market is closed. Like right now, the market is closed. So percentage change don't it's not active. Okay, it's not active when the market is closed. Okay, and so I focus on this almost the same criteria. Well, most of the same, you know. And so this right here is a criteria that I use, right, to filter out the crypto. And so we're gonna talk about that later. But in the meantime, we're gonna continue here talking about these. And so just like I said, sometimes you're not gonna, on other streams I've said sometimes you guys are not gonna find no news on the softwares, right? That you look for, even on the Finviz. So the next thing you have to be you have to be focused on is social media. You could go to the X platform, right? Or you could go to stocks twits, talks oh my god, stocks twits, something like that. and and you could search for the stocks, right? Just by putting the dollar sign and the ticker symbol next to it. Okay, and you press enter and you get the information that you need from that stock. Okay, whoever's talking about it, you're gonna find it there. If nobody's talking about it, then that stock is, maybe there was an investor that was hidden there, and they put a lot of money into the stock, and that's why you see the price going up like it is, you know. But usually that doesn't happen. I mean, I've never seen it. So normally it's because either the news hit, in whatever software that you're trading, and everybody's watching it and they taking advantage, or somebody really was hyping it up on social media. Okay, and so that's one way to do it. And if you want to check specific dates, let's say just for fun, right? You want to go ahead and check the GameStop move that happened in COVID times, right? You could search for it just by putting this formula, right? You put until, you put the coin sign, and then you put the year that you saw that you want to see, right? Well, you put the current. Well, it's between. You got to put from recent to old. So if you're looking at, somewhere, I don't know when, I forgot when was the time where GME just went crazy, in COVID time. So you put the most recent one all the way to when it started running, in that case, which is you put it on this side on since, so this is the formula. And you put this thing right here, the dollar sign, the ticker symbol. You press space, and then you put this formula, and then you press enter, and you're supposed to get the information, and so after that, right, then you have here the watch list, right? I mean, you don't have to do the same thing I'm doing, but this is kind of how what you would see out of many traders out there that are, successful, and this is how they put it together. Okay, this is the watch list of today, well, of yesterday that we had, and we're gonna start with a new one today. And so let's change the date, and the time is 2:39. And so feed is one of the stocks that we're watching. I mean, it had two good days. We was tracking it yesterday, and so uh what we said was had a great breakout yesterday. Um, I mean, we said today, but it was yesterday. Now seemed like it closed strong yesterday, right? But after hours it gave up, and now it's bouncing off uptrending support. Just keep monitoring it, and need volume, and plan is to bounce off uptrending support and test higher day, right? So we want to see the bounce off of it, off the support, uptrending support. So we're gonna look at that right now. So it's feed, and it's NView Medical. I mean, we don't care. I mean, traders like me don't care about what the company name is. We don't do fundamental analysis. Now, overall trend is bad. It's terrible. It had a bunch of splits, and I mean, who knows how many bad earnings it had. But we're gonna check. We're gonna zoom in and check this thing out. So, it did not bounce successfully. It didn't bounce exactly at that point, but it did recover pretty good for today. I mean, you could have took advantage of the bounce off this horizontal support level. Okay, So this is kind of what this is all I teach. This is what I teach, guys. Very simple. Where's the, oh, it's over here. So this move, look, it went 93% today, guys. You will not see this on bigger stocks, guys. It will take them months to hit 93% or even years. Okay, you just saw 93% hit in 6 hours on the same day. Okay, so this is kind of what we look at, guys. Right? For these 3 days, guys, the total percentage, guys, is, I'm gonna show you guys really quick. 416%, guys. See, these are the stocks that we want to see. These are the stocks that I have spent 10 years learning to trade. Okay, 10 plus years it took me. Okay, and now that I know everything, this is my gift to you guys on a daily. This is what I do: show you guys how to find these. Okay, and so I mean, there's many ways to trade this. I mean, you could trade off the breakout, right? The breakout would be this right here, this point. I could have got in right here. See, this is the breakout confirmation, which I've said in many streams. This is the resistance level. Once the price goes above the resistance level and it closes, right? The green candle closes above it, then I want to get on the next candle. And this right here, it went all the way up to 21%, guys. So you could either got 5, 10, 15%, up to 21%, guys. So a lot of people on the year cannot make 21% profit. I mean, it's very, very hard to make 21% at some other businesses. Okay, probably the most I mean, when you're starting, like, let's suppose real estate, you probably make like 9% profit or 8%, probably lower than that, depending how you started. But as you get higher, you get your business starts getting stronger, then you go above that, and successful real estate um investors, they could make way every day consistently a lot of money. They could double their money like that fast. I love real estate, but if you don't have a real estate business, then I would suggest you guys to look into this or look into the trades field. Try to create a business off after trade field, and you know uh, s- try to get some money in order to invest in either this or your retirement, or open up a real estate business. I mean, but this thing, I mean, you could do stocks short term, right? For either to get money for a vacation. You could do this to either pay your college tuition. You could use this either for a career. As a career, you don't have to be all day stuck in the watching the stocks. You can only spend like 20-30 minutes of your time or an hour, and you know make your plan for the stock trade, which it takes, I mean, for you to trade, it'll take you like 15 minutes, 20 minutes the most. Sometimes it takes an hour because you're monitoring the stock, but most of the time it doesn't take you that long to trade. Okay, and so once you get in the trade, it only take you 5 minutes to be done with the trade. So you know you could do this every day consistently, make your little profit here and there consistently every day for the couple weeks. And I mean, you like your total trading days for the entire year is like 120 days. Um, so I mean, you don't trade 360 something days, So, or I don't know how many days in the year, but you don't trade that much. Remember, it's five for the stocks. It's 5 days a week, right? Because this in the weekend is closed. Okay, so if you could do 5 successful trades for the week for 4 weeks, right, for 12 months, then that money it's really good, for vacation. I mean, for anything that I've mentioned before. So this is the kind of stocks that I you know I study many years to understand. Okay, so you could have traded on the breakout, or you could have waited here, just like what we planned. We said here, keep monitoring, need volume, and plan for it to bounce off of training support and test high day. It didn't bounce off this uptrending support, only in after hours. However, it did bounce off this horizontal support level, which is key, and that's kind of what we want to see. So, and that was successful right there. I mean, you could have got in right here on this candle, this green candle, and got in 9% there. This thing went all the way to 91% for the day. In pre-market, let's say you didn't want to wait till the market open. This thing went all the way to 57% in pre-market. So that was incredible, guys. Incredible move. However, it didn't close. I mean, I guess this was the end of it because it didn't close strong. I would have wanted it to close stronger here on near high day, but it didn't. It failed, and it took a big dive. It broke down even the previous support level. So that was not good news. But you could have took advantage of that move right there, and you could have been done for the day. So that was a good move. Great move. But I won't have it on the watch list since it's no longer getting traction. Now it did have some good volume, 66 million, that more than the average. Look at the average, 17 million, and the float is 1 million, so it's very low flow. So that's kind of what we're looking for. I mean, it did have some news. CSA signs amend agreement with holders of Series H preferred stock. That was the most recent news, which was an hour ago. But the real reason why this thing moved for 3 days is because they had a strategic partnership with the company you deliver. Okay, so that's the real reason why this thing went up. Okay, so that was good. So, but we're gonna take it off because it's already, I mean, it already did the move that we were looking for. Not perfectly, but it did a great move. So let's go ahead and go back to the notes. And XHLD is the next one, guys. XSHLD, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. 10 holding, right? And as you can see here on this downtrending support level, it did bounce off of it. However, the activity was not as much, guys. It was, for the entire trading period, this thing only traded 996,000, guys. That's not much. That's very little. You could have got stuck somewhere trading. So not good compared to the average. Very low. And the float is very great. It's very low, which is good, but the volume still was not, there was not hardly demand compared to these two things here that we're looking for. So not good to trade. I wouldn't trade it. And so yeah, this one is gonna be taken off the list because I'm no longer interested in it. And so now we gotta deal with today's scanning of the stocks. And so let's see if you guys can see the okay, yeah, you guys can see it. Oh, okay, so let's go ahead. And so we're gonna use Finviz to scan, right, the new stocks, right? And so I already explained all the criteria that you need, right? And so you use that, you go to screeners, and then you're gonna see this page, right? We don't, just like I said before, we don't want to see 545 pages. We don't want to see every stock on all those pages, so we want to minimize, right? And so we have to filter what we see here. This is too little, so in order to see everything, you got to go to all, right here, this all tab. And now you see a lot of option here, guys. There's a lot of options. Just like I said, market cap, that's the thing we're gonna focus. The company total value has to be anything under 300 million, which is called micro cap. Okay. Next thing is the price. Just like I said before, $1 to $20 is my preference. Okay. And just in case, if you guys don't understand the all this what you're watching here, if you hover your mouse right to the word, it's gonna give you the definition. Okay, and you could write down the whole name, and you could search for what is that on YouTube, on Investopedia. I mean, there's other ways to understand what you're looking at. Okay, but this is my criteria, and so market cap is what I focus on. I focus on price. If I go to the third column, right, the only thing that you will see that I'm interested is in relative value, right? I already explained about relative value. Over here says ratio of current value compared to 3 months of average volume. They forgot to put volume right next to it, but it's okay. Adjusted is only adjusted intraday, right? And so intraday is the time between the open and the close, right? All that space right there is called intraday. Okay. And so that's one thing. And so relative value, just like I said, anything above 5 is my preference. Okay. Another thing, once you hover your mouse to the next column, you see the industry, and I like to focus on anything that's stocks only related. Okay. Next thing I want to check is current value, or performance, whichever of them is the same thing. It doesn't have to be in order, as long as you have it packed down. Now I want to see stocks that are running today, right? Anything that's running, that's my preference. Also current volume, guys. The demand, I want to focus on anything above 1 million would be my choice, because it's easy to get in and get out. Okay. Another thing on the last column, we have float, which is the supply, and I already explained what supply and demand is. So you guys could go ahead and once the stream is ended, I mean, you guys could go ahead and hit the back button or something and try to find it, because I did talk about it a few minutes ago. Okay, so anything under 10 million is my preference. I mean, you could do your testing. You could test it out, back test, and see what works for you. But this is my personal preference. And so that's my criteria, guys. Very simple, not too much. And then we have here one page only, not 540 something pages. And we have today nine stocks to look at, right? We probably not look at some of these, but there's a good majority here to watch. So the next thing I want to do is take off all this information here. I don't want to see none of these. I care less about what the company's named, not even the industry or the or the sector or the country. I would take off the market cap, because I no longer need to filter it out. It's already filtered, so I could take this off, and the percentage change as well. Okay, and so only way you could take those things off is if you go to custom, right? Once you go to custom, then you have these options here. Okay, so just like I said, I don't want number, I don't want company, I don't want sector, I don't want industry or country or market cap or PE ratio. Only one I don't want. I want to add the relative volume, and I want to add the shares float. Those are the two things that I'm gonna add. Oh, and we're taking off the percentage change, right? And so now we have a clean, we have something that we could see clearly, you know. We could see the ticker symbols on the left, right? These ticker symbols um, very clearly. And the next thing we want to do is we want to sort out volume, guys. Okay. And so right here, I like to sort out anything from top to bottom, from high to low. And we got a good amount today. The reason why I don't focus on these little ones under 10 is because there's a good majority of times where the float is higher than the current volume. But you know in this case, it seems like there's a lot more demand than the supply here. So I don't know, we should check these bottom ones. Now YJ has a couple days that it has ran, and it's weak right now, so this one we might not check it. But this one had a pretty interesting move. I mean, from 13-ish all the way to $20 today. So we're gonna look at that one too. And OCG doesn't look like it did much, but we're gonna look at that too, because there's also hidden moves there, because the chart, it doesn't give you enough information. But the first one we're gonna check is the highest one, which is VIVS. So let's check at that one, VIVS. And so VIVS, I mean, it had a good run after hours. Now I don't trade after hours. Some people do, but I don't trade. Me personally, I don't trade it. The people that would trade the after hours, I mean, they could have took a little bit advantage here. Um, um, I mean, you could have took a little loss there, but once you hop in back up here on this one, I mean, you could have got in right here on this next candle and got a profit of 5 to 25%. So that was a good move right there. And let's say you missed the whole move, this whole move after hours, and you meet up today. You woke up in the morning and you say, okay, well, I want to look at VIVS because it ran yesterday. Then your plan will be for it to bounce off the support levels, because when the prices it was up here, right, was around this area, the resistance level was on this candle right here above these candles, right? And so if you don't know what resistance and support levels are, I mean, there's plenty of guys that can explain it very well on YouTube. um Once you get to know that, then you guys could come over here and see what and know and understand what I'm talking about. And so once the price breaks the resistance level, right, it becomes support. Okay. And the support is kind of the floor. It nothing goes your foot. It's like you just to put a really simple analogy, right? Let's take this room right here that I'm at, right? We have a ceiling and you have a floor, right? You yourself is the price, right? In this case, you know for sure that the price that your leg cannot go through the floor realistically, unless it's it has a cave in there. Really, the floor is not well structured and your foot might slide in there. But that means there's a weak bottom. So that happens in the market when there the floor will be a support level, right, and the roof will be a resistance level. For sure, by gravity only, that your hand cannot go through the rooftop of the room, right? Because the roof is too strong. So that right there is the resistance, right? There's too much pressure, and the gravity, it doesn't let your hand go through, unless the structure of the roof is not great, and your hand might go through it. So that's kind of how you see it in the market. I mean, I don't know if that's a good analogy. Maybe it was not. But you guys could go and do more research of support and resistance, but we could see here that once it broke out, this resistance level was not as strong, and so that's why I did this move here, and so once it went down, it tested this support level, which was once a resistance level. Okay, so now it's a support level as it was over here when the price was over here. This became support, and now it went to test the waters, right? And it failed. So it bounced back up. It tried to test again, it went down again, and it tested and it failed. So that means it had 2 points of contact there against the resistance level. And so now we could know that this resistance level, which was a support, is now strong. Now this support level is now strong. Okay, now this thing bounced and it went down again. It tested once more on pre-market, and it failed again. It went a little bit down, but it closed on the top. That means it was weak. This price was weak. The buyers, the sellers were weak here, so the buyers took advantage. And there was a lot of fight here on pre-market. But still the support level was still strong enough to push the price up. So you could have took advantage here. Right when it broke, right when it shadowed this little candle here, you could have took advantage here on this other candle, on the bounce. 28%, perfect. That's perfect. That's a perfect move right there. And it went all the way up to 38% to be more specific. So that was a good move right there. After that, it just kept going down. And now it gave back half of its gains, and it's hovering. It was hovering before market closed. It was hovering the VWAP, and now it looks like it's coming down again. So I won't have it on the list. It had a great move. 72 million shares traded today. For volume was perfect, way more than the average, and the float was very low too, which was 2 million. This thing went up because let's see if we see. Yesterday the news was expand Asia Pacific access to Namkind, that company, human-based toxicology services through a new distributor agreement in Korea and China. So they had a contract. This company had a contract agreement with Korea and China, putting this new services available. Okay. So that was a big news, right? We're not talking about specific cities or states. We're talking about countries. Okay, so when they have a contract with two countries, or even one country, will be great. It's a great news. So that's why you see this move like this. That whole entire move was, tell you right now, what that entire move was 188%, guys. You don't see that in big stocks on one day. Okay, so you rarely will see it with SPACs, but like other big companies, 188%. No, you only see in these type of stocks like this. Now they're risky, guys. You might see that you could trade it, but they're risky. If you don't know what you're doing, you lose money very fast. Because right now you look at this up and it looks attractive to buy, but once you buy up here, look what happened. You just got dipped. You took a big loss there. So this is only short term, and when you get in the trade, you only trade for, the time that you're supposed to be out of the trade, 5 to 10 minutes, no longer than that. Sometimes it takes seconds, but just got to pay attention, learn, and try to practice. There's paper trading accounts too that you could use, which is not real accounts, and that that can help you learn too, trading. So let's go ahead and go to the next one, ORKT. Now, before we go to ORKT, let's check the daily. So as you can see, the daily show me a lot of history of running. You know, that would have been great if it did show any type of continuation move, but it didn't. I mean, it's been red for 3 days. It did gap up today, but I mean, look, it closed red. It failed. So that's not good to see. So let's go ahead and go to the next one, ORKT. ORKT. And so ORKT had a pretty decent move here. I mean, this is not confirmation pullback, but I mean, you could put a high there because it's a high of, you know, compared to the previous high day. I mean, it broke out and it closed above it. So that right there is a high pre-market. So this right here, you could have closed that there and you could have got in here at the breakout. So this is a confirmation breakout and you could have got in here on this candle. 12%, guys. 12%. After that, it didn't have other good opportunities, probably in the smaller time frames, but for me, I would have took a little nice profit there. Yeah, but everything depends what the, you know, what the criteria says, which is the volume. We want to see the supply and demand. This thing had 46 million volume, which is way more than the average. That's what we want to see. It's 3 times the average, right? Well, it's 30 times the average. I'm sorry, 30 times the average. It's way more than the float. It's about 40 something times that the float. Now that's when you do calculations with volume versus the float. It's called oh my god, that the float has been rotated many times, and so you divide the volume versus the float, and it will show you how many times this stock has rotated the price. Okay, and so this was a good move. So you could have took advantage there. However, right now it's hovering the support level, the pre-market support level, but it's very extended compared to the VWAP. I don't like to see that. So I would have loved for it to close strong today and close near the highs here. So that's, you know, this was a not good to see. So this one is not going to be added to the list. I'm kind of afraid that most of these are not going to be in the list. This one had a big gap down. Wow. CISS is the next one. Oh, and let's check the reason why it went up. See if we can find it here before we move to the next one. And we're gonna check the daily as well. So let's see. July 25 was the last time it traded. It had news. Sorry. Last time it had news. So that's not good news. It didn't have no news here, probably in social media. I mean, you see people talking about it here on this stock twits web. So people were talking about it, hyping it up here. So, you know, that's what happens. So yeah, this I've traded this one before, long time. But yeah, I'm not gonna add it to the list. As you can see, I mean, it closed weak. So let's go on to the next one, CISS. CISS. And CISS didn't had a great move. I mean, this was a lot of sloppy moves here, and it closed weak today. Not sure about this one, guys. I mean, this move right here, I don't think it would have show up on the. Yeah, this thing wouldn't show up on the chart. I mean, it had 42%, but if it doesn't have volume, it wouldn't show up on my scanner this in the morning. Probably all this together would have show up, but as you can see, I mean, I would have put this resistance line here, but it never tested it, never, throughout the whole entire day. So that's not good news. So this, and it closed weak. The daily chart not great. I mean, it had a big gap here, and it does need to fill the gap. It's almost about to hit the $1, and they did a stock split not too long ago. I guess they're gonna have to do another one because it's about to hit uh below $1 again. So they gotta do something very quick. If not, they're gonna run out of business. So um let's see. So let's see the news if it has some recent news. 7 days ago, it said expansion update in tanker sector announces management estimate of net value. So they had an acquisition with this two medium range product tanker. They had an acquisition of another of a company. So it could have been a product too. So, but we're not gonna go ahead and look into that right now. Um, hold on a second, guys. Okay. So, where do we start again? So this one is not interesting, as you can see in the 5 minute this week. So we're not gonna add this to the list. Yeah, so we're not gonna go ahead and add it to the list. So let's continue. INLF. Wow, it had a pretty decent move. However, it started running below $1, so that's not, you know, uh, if it show up on the scanner most of the time, in at that lower price, I wouldn't probably trade it. INLF. Let's check. So as you can see, very low price. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I would have caught it here. It didn't have no confirmation pullback. Over here was this. This is a confirmation pullback. You see all this red? That's a confirmation pullback. And then I will look. I will use the highest point between what I'm looking at on the closer levels, the candles together, and what's behind me, which is all this. And if any of these time frames here, any of these spaces here, there was a candle above this level, then I'll mark the highest point. But in this case, this candle is the one that's the highest one, so that's what I mark as resistance. And so look, today that was after hours. Today it didn't had. I mean, I wouldn't see anything. Probably low, probably 1 minute chart. Maybe you could have seen something. But as you can see, these lines like this, that's considered a halt. That's why you see all this 2 hour halts right here. 2 hours ago, all this news, it had a volatility halt. So if you want to know more about halts on YouTube, there's plenty of people that would explain halts and stuff. But it's very important not to get involved not to get caught in halts. Okay. This thing, I mean, it had a confirmation pullback on the 1 minute chart. If you would have took advantage here, I mean, this will be the only profit right here, right at the close. It went up 9%. So on the 1 minute, you would have made a little bit of profit. But I don't like trading on the 1 minute because you have to be a little bit faster, you know. But yeah, that was pretty much it with that one. It didn't. I mean, it gave back all of its gains, and it's right now it's way below the VWAP. I don't see it getting to 170 again. So that one is out of the list. It's not gonna be in the list. ELPW is the next one. ELPW. Wow, this thing had a lot of halts. You would have got caught in one of these halts. Wow. Now it had a good up move, but look, it just dumped everything. So this is, it's always good to understand the history of pumps and dumps. Not sure if this was a pump and dump, but it looks it looks like it. But if you want to know a little bit more what is a pump and dump, look into it. There's history behind that, and which is not good news. I'm not gonna talk about it here because I don't want that has to do with politics and everything. But I'm not gonna do that. But as you can see here, the spaces there is here is because it has a lot of halts. I would have took advantage here, but I would have got caught in a halt, which I don't like. Um, it had a good price. The volume was 23 million, way above the average, and the float as well. The float was low, so that was good to look at. Now the halts is what I mean. I would have been spooked by the halts. So right here, this is not a confirmation breakout. This is a confirmation breakout. So I would have had to wait it after the halt ended in order for me to get in this stock, and I had to get out very fast at 4%, because if not, I would have got in the halt, and then I mean I would have had a great profit there of 25%, but I had to get out, because if not, guess what would have happened? I would have been caught in this loss right here on this, and if I would have been caught in the halt, I would have lost some money there. How much? Somewhere around 9% or 12%, which that's not my limit. My limit is 5%. So that's the case of the halts, guys. You have to be careful. And so right here is another resistance area. Not perfect, but you would have waited for a bounce. I mean, it bounced here and you would have took profit somewhere up here. But just like I said, halts is very dangerous. Very dangerous. If you would have done shorts here, short trading here, oh my God, you would have lost millions here on this move. This whole move, this entire move is 3,000%, guys. 3,000. I mean, I haven't seen a 3,000% in I don't know when, guys. It's been so long. I think last year was 2,000% was the highest one that I've seen. 3,000, guys. 3,000. What can you do with $3,000, guys? I'm shocked. I'm even gonna do the calculation for you guys. Look, let's say I don't trade in under pennies here, under $1, but I'm just gonna give you the reality of it. Let's say you put in $3,000 on this guy, right? 3,000 divided by, let's say you get in right in the bottom, which is it's impossible. You would have never caught it at this point. But I'm just gonna show you that, just an example. 49 cents, right? At 0.49 cents. So you could own 6,122 shares of this stock at that price, right? So you take 6122 and you multiply it by where you sold it at, right? And if you would have sold right at the top, which is impossible, you could never guess, unless you're an insider, which is illegal. You couldn't never guess getting right here and getting out at the perfect point, which is up there at let's put the what was the close, just to be specific. Can't see the close. 1467. So you multiply that 6,122 shares by 1467, and on that day, that whole entire day, guys, let me put this minus, because this is not the profit, because you just put $3,000 only on this one. So 3,000, you on that day right there, you would have got $86,000, guys. What can you do with 86,000 right now? Those who doesn't have businesses, those who hasn't paid their college tuition, those who have struggles out there, and I'm not saying you have to trade with 3,000. You could trade with a lot less, and you would have still got some good profit. Okay, so this is the power of trading these low price stocks, guys. Look at that, 3,000%, guys. 3,000%. You guys are not. I don't know if you guys could listen to me. Hopefully, I'm not muted. But I'm telling you, this is the value that you guys are getting right now. So incredible, guys. You will not see that nowhere, guys. Nowhere. There's no stock that would, well, this one right here, this one right here. But I'm talking about the bigger ones. The bigger ones are expensive, and they don't even make 3,000%. Very, very, very. I mean, it will take them years, guys, to complete that. Years. And this thing did it in one day. You know what? I'm even gonna screenshot this thing. I'm even gonna, oh, not like that. Wait a minute. Let me screenshot the whole move. I'll probably even put that thing as a thumbnail, as a thumbnail, or as an example. But you know, that's the power of these guys right here. Now I wouldn't trade it, and let's say you caught it at the the breakout. Let's say you're not, you miss all this. My whole words just I got over my words, but sorry about that. Let's say you didn't got this move. Let's say you're waiting now for the bounce. It did bounce pretty successfully. You could have caught it right here on this candle, and it went all the way to 53%, guys. Now that's a perfect trade. This is a perfect trade right there, because it's not halting either. You know, so that was a tremendous move. Tremendous. You know, incredible move. But I won't have it. I won't have it. It is hovering from the VWAP, but I don't know why this thing went up. Let me see. I'll tell you right now. 8 hours. Let me see if I can find a reason why this thing went up that high. Retail speculation. So it didn't give me. I mean, it had a reverse stock split, but it didn't had no, probably in the social media, probably it got hyped up, but no definitive news here to see. It did had a reverse stock split though. Wow, incredible move, guys. Incredible move. GITS is the next one we're gonna watch. I don't think we have stocks today to look at. Not to look at, to prepare for Monday. Let's take this one off. Oh, and look. Oh, before we do anything, let's check this daily. So the daily, not it does have some history of running. See this history of running, which is good to know. Now don't focus on this price, because the price is not real, and it's because there was a stock split. So this move, it does not mean that it went from 13 to 130. It could have it went in smaller prices, up like that in smaller prices, but the reason why you see those prices like that is because the split that they did here. So this move right here was a multi-month breakout. Just in case if you guys wanted to know, this was a multi-month breakout. So really good. So GITS is the next one we gotta see. GITS. And as you can see on the daily, it did have some history of running, and we had marked it before. We have looked at this one before. That was the breakout level. It did bounce off the support that we put here, and it never looked back. This thing went, but it went good. What a good move. Now I couldn't find any pullback here, confirmation pullback. Probably only on the 1 minute, maybe. Yeah, there was confirmation pullback on this one. this one probably wouldn't show up on the on my scanner, but on this time, at this time, I think it would. This thing had a 16 million volume com- compared to the average, and the float was very low, so that was good. And I mean, you could have got in here on this. This was the confirmation breakout, and you could have got in this candle. It went all the way up to 25%, and as high as 49%. So that was a pretty good move. This would this would have been one of the trades there that you could have took advantage. Now, you know, it went down. You know, it gave back most of its gains today, and it was way below the VWAP. So another failure, guys, for the entire day. But I mean, it was not a failure because I mean, you could have took advantage of this move, but for a continuation, for to prepare for Monday, it's not it doesn't seem like it's gonna go up again. So that's not good news. Let's put a resistance level here. Boom. And so let's go into the next one on because on the daily, guys, look at the daily. Very bad daily. It has some splits, but it has some time that it ran, So that's it would have qualified, but for a continuation, no. Let's go check OCG is the next one. OCG. As we go down, as we go down the list, the volume it gets lower and lower. So we probably not gonna see much activity on these. It did had a move on after hours, guys. I would have put a resistance level here, and look just like you see. I mean, it didn't touch the resistance level, so that right there disqualifies this stock. Now, if you want to trade it short term, I mean, you would have had problems here because this could have been counted as a confirmation pullback. I mean, you see the triangle here, kind of sideways, but it had a confirmation pullback over here too. Very, very little, but you wouldn't capitalize on none of them for the breakout. Only the bounce off this support level. Once it went down, it bounced off this support level, and you could have capitalized somewhere around here. So you would have had only probably one win here, which is enough, 7% on that candle. So that would have been the only win. Very difficult to trade, and it closed very, very low too. So compared to the VWAP, so weak move, not good. And it went up that high like that. I mean, it's not showing me the reason. OCG. January 14 was the last time they talk about this thing, and I think it was a hype. This was junk news. This was the real news in November 14, which was last year. Earnings. It has some financial results, which is earnings. So, yeah, not recent news. Probably hyped up today on social media, and that's kind of what happened. So let's take that one off. So guys, we don't have nothing, guys. I won't watch a YJ because I mean the volume is almost the same as the supply. So supply and demand is not working there. So PMN is the last one. PMN, and right here pre-market. I mean, you would have took. I mean, you wouldn't have success on this one either. I wouldn't have success on it. Probably in short term, short time frame, maybe you would have took advantage of this. But I don't see it. This candle was the highest of all day for the rest of the day. Yeah, so this one's not good for me. It closed very, very low, so compared to the VWAP. So I mean, I wouldn't took advantage on that one. So total, guys, that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, this stocks, I mean, we don't have anything for the weekend. Zero. Now, it's okay. Sometimes you have that where I mean, nothing for the weekend to study. I mean, you could study what went up and just study the short term, but for a continuation, there's nothing to study for a continuation. Okay. It happens. It happens. It's nothing out of the world. What you have to do in those cases is just be patient, wait till the next week, and see if you can find more. You know. But if you're trading like I do, which is I wake up early in the morning, check pre-market, scan my stocks, using my criteria, picking 2 or 3 stocks for the trade. Sometimes I pick only one, and based on that, I formulate a plan to get in, to exit, and in case the doesn't go my way, I already have an exit point too. A percentage where I feel comfortable losing money. In case if it goes south, I have a limit on how much I should lose, and that's it. And if I lose 1 or 2 times for that day, if I lose twice for the day, I'm done. I don't continue over trading trying to get my money back. I just just study what I did wrong, see what the chart is telling me, and see if I could get better on the next day. So not every day you're gonna win. So try to keep your losses low and your wins high, and you should be okay. Over time. So let's go ahead and take the stocks away and let's go to crypto, guys. Crypto, I don't know how many we got for crypto. Only one, spec. So let's check spec really quick before we go ahead and scan for new crypto. Spec is this one, spectral. So guys, look at this. So it bounced off this, I mean, not perfectly off the line, this uptrending support, but that right there, that be in between this price and the space here, that's all buyers holding the price up, and this thing, it just bounced. It slingshot right up, testing these highs, and it broke out, not convincingly, but it did broke out, and it consolidated again off the highs, and it broke out some more. So you could have took advantage of this bounce. I mean, and made some money. This is the 1 minute, so let's go to the 5 minute, see more clearly. So, see, as you can see, you could have took advantage on this bounce, you could have took advantage on this bounce. See, this thing went right here, you could have took 4%, and it went all the way to 9%, and the highest it went on this move was 22%. So those are good moves, guys. I mean, if you would have missed any of that, you could have got in here on this candle right here, the breakout. Right after that confirmation breakout, you could have got in here 2%. I mean, not much, but something is better than nothing. And once it went down there, it just took this support level as a bouncing, and I mean, you could have got more profit here around these levels here. So what a good move overall. This thing went from these lower points here, percentage wise, it went like 180%. So overall it went good, perfect. And these lines were guides here to show me where the trend was going, and so the trend is still healthy, but it does need some pullback in order to continue, if it wants to continue at the end of the day. So I'm gonna extend a little bit the line on both things here. Let me close that up, let me close this one up, and that's pretty much it, guys. And so no stocks, spec, very good move, very good bounce and breakout opportunity. Still consolidating off highs, and looks, well, needs to pull back eventually. will be looking for a bounce off a trending support and possibly test high of day. Yeah. So that right there, let me mark a resistance line up this high. Let's see. We can mark a perfect line. There we go. So those are the lines there for resistance. And that's pretty much it with that one. Let's go ahead and mark us a new day. Oh, and before we start, let me go ahead and put the date today, 30/26. There we go. And so 1/30/26, and it's already 3:36. So we already, I don't know how many hours we've been in already. An hour and 40. So we almost done, guys. We don't have much. I'm trying to keep it short because I have things to do right now after the stream. But I appreciate every single one of you guys passing by, showing support. I mean, I think we already hit the goal. 2 likes, guys. That's awesome. Thank you guys for showing support. That's kind of what I ask every day is 2 likes. So thank you so much for the support. And so let's go ahead and continue. I mean, don't forget to share and show support too on TTV Glamour, guys. She came over here and show support. Go to her web. She's a content creator too, and show support over there as well. Let's go ahead and do the list, see if we can scan some stuff, some crypto. Hopefully we can find something. So right here, this is the web right here. Let's see, I think you can see it. Yeah, this is CoinMarketCap. This is what I use, guys. And so right here, if you go, I mean, if you don't see this site, just hit the title, guys. You're gonna see everything that you're gonna look that we're gonna want to see, which is the filter right here. You click the filter, and then you're gonna see this box right here. And there's only 3 things that I mean, for my criteria, this is what we use. Is first we use market cap, which is 1 million to 10 million. 10 million. Volume is the second, which is 1 million. 1 million to 100 million. No more than 100. Right? To get in easy and get out easy. Okay? And percentage change, which is 10%. In this case, all the way to 500%. Okay? And these guys move sometimes very, very good. Very fast. And so right here, we sort 24-hour percentage from high to low. And now we have, I mean, we have a pretty decent amount here. So let's check the first one, U. Yeah, we don't want to see this. This thing look like those machines off the hospital. Well, yeah, these are a lot of errors on the chart. Yeah, you don't want to see this. You will get caught here. Yeah, this is not good to see in a chart. So let's go ahead and go to the next one, YNE. See if we can see anything running pretty good, solid. Okay, yeah, this looks solid, very solid. So we're gonna go ahead and see on this chart YNE in crypto. Look at this, guys. You see this? These are the type of stocks we look crypto and stocks we're looking for. The pattern. This is what we're looking for. You see 158 today. This thing did that move. I mean, you got confirmation pullback right here. I would have marked a line there, and I would have took advantage of this move right there. I mean, not much. It's 4%, and it went as high as 18%. If you're tolerant to hold a little bit based on what you see on the level 2, I'm not sure. I mean, crypto don't show up on the level 3. It does show up on level 4. So that software is a little bit expensive, but if you own it, then you have success with knowing where the sellers are and where the buyers are as well. Okay, that right there will show you very exact points of supply and not support and resistance. That's kind of what I want to show you. Well, supply and demand actually. um, is a form of supply and demand as well. So those are the ranges there. It seems like it's coming down now, and it's gonna test. This is also a downtrending uh, confirmation pullback. This is not a confirmation pullback. This right here is a confirmation. So it broke these support levels, and now it's coming down. So I'm not sure if it's gonna hold. Um, it had a good move. It's still holding more than its gains. So I'm gonna put this on my watch. YNE. We'll check the results Monday. Looking awesome move. Looking for pullback, bounce off support levels, and test high of day. Let's see if we could put a date time here. 23:30 is where well, the high was 20:55, so that's where we're gonna put the high at 20:55, and today this date is 30 still, so we'll put 1, 30, and 26. Okay, so we got that stock, and let's go on to the next one. Hopefully you guys could hear the audio. Everything is working. Hopefully there's no issues. So let's go ahead and continue. Moby is the next one. I mean, just like I said, I only want to see anything above 20. And so we got 1, 2, 3, and 4 stocks to check very quick to be done for the day. So this looked like it's about to break out again. Moby, let's check Moby. And so Moby is breaking out. We had put here resistance line and a support level here. It's breaking out, guys. So that's a good move right there. I would want to see a pullback bounce off the support levels. So we'll put this on the list as well. Moby, great breakout. Looking for pullback bounce off support level and test high of day for continuation. And I'll put it's breaking out right now, so I want to see 23:25 is 3:25, and the date, today's date 30/26, and I'm gonna bold this. You exactly don't have to do what I'm doing, but this is how some people do it. I mean, I keep it very simple. I don't do too much. Spec, we already checked spec. A DAO is one. Well, the last one we're gonna check. DAO. Let's see DAO on the preview here. DAO. So overall, it's not doing good. Very short term, but we'll look at it because I mean, it did have this move right here, but we can only see the 1 hour on this chart. So we'll look at it very short time frame. So DAO, I think it is what it's called. Yeah, DAO. Let's see this. Oh, perfect. So you see, this is kind of what we want to see, is a little bit clear. So, but I mean, it did had a couple. Well, it didn't have much opportunity on the 5 minute. Probably on the 1 minute, you could have seen something. But as you can see, I mean, right now we don't have nothing right now. Yeah, this one I'm not gonna add it to the list because there's no support levels that I can mark. Probably maybe in the long. Yeah, this thing. Well, it does have some history of running. A lot of history of running. This thing is the back end of the move right now. It's at the back end of the move, so it's just squeezing the little bit that it has. Not sure if it's gonna continue running. So, but I won't have it on the list. So that's pretty much it, guys. I appreciate you guys sticking with me today. Let's go ahead and remove this. I already saved it. And 5. There we go. So, guys, appreciate it. Appreciate it for showing support, being here, and those guys that come in the future and look at the video. You're welcome. I mean, I hope you guys learn and understand everything that I'm saying. And in case you guys don't understand, don't forget to hit the comments and ask questions, guys. Though I don't bite. Okay, so you guys can ask any questions. Feel free. Feel free to hit me up either on Discord or anywhere. I have every information is in the description. Okay. Uh, Also, don't forget to show support on TTV Glamour X. Check her platform. She has great content over there. Show support over there. There's plenty other that I would mention as well as a gratitude. Being very thankful. I mean, Hernandez is 2787 is one that I could mention that without him this wouldn't be happening. So I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I hope you guys have a great good afternoon and a great rest of the day. Okay. So I'll see you guys on the next time. Probably, well, tomorrow we have Lego Star Wars. We got more episodes, and we have very special thanks to every single one of you guys that follow me. I'm gonna mention every single one of you guys, and I'm also gonna do a, a gift for one of you guys. All right. I'm gonna do like a sorting for the. I'm gonna sort out which is called, well, on my screen. I mean, I can't see it right here because I only have it on the starting screen. But it's gonna sort out all the names of every single follower that follow me from January, and I'm gonna take that and it's gonna tell me exactly who won. And so it's gonna be very interesting tomorrow. So I hope you guys are there showing support. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't know what time I'm gonna get in. Hopefully, I have enough energy. I won't fall asleep. So I'll see you guys tomorrow then. Have a good one. Enjoy it.